Hola chicos y chicas, soy RKB, un experto operado aquí de hoy, básicamente la vida práctica mi vida. Hola chicos y chicas, my name is RKB, or spelled the other way to current boy, and basically I'm video to document my life. So today's video is just going to be a video um, on our day 2 of our Bible study, take a closer look for women, 50 eye-opening meditations by Jan Kerr. If you are interested in the book, I will put all the information in the description box, but also watch my day 1 video that I posted yesterday. If I don't post this video today, today is March 20th, 2017, and it is a Monday. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. So the title for day 2 is Words You Can Trust. I actually completed this lesson on October 16th, 2015, which was a Friday at 7:30 p.m. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Nothing you see is impossible with God. And Mary said, Yes, I see it all now. I'm the Lord's maid, ready to serve. Let it be with me just as you say. Then the angel left her. Luke chapter 1, verses 37 to 38 MSG version. So now onto the big picture. Mary was a young woman engaged to be married to a man named Joseph. What excitement must have filled her heart as she prepared and waited for her wedding day. Of course, little snags might occur, as they do in any plans for a big event. But when that angel showed up, his news presented more than a simple snag. First of all, an angel appearing in front of you wasn't an everyday occurrence. And this wasn't just any nameless angel, it was Gabriel, sent from God specifically to address Mary, who lived in Nazareth, a city of the region of Galilee. And not just any Mary in Nazareth, but the one who was a virgin, engaged to Joseph, of the house of David, that Mary. Gabriel addressed her with honor. He told her she was highly favorable and blessed, and the Lord was with her. Good words, wonderfully complimentary, but wouldn't you wonder, as Mary did, what was up? She was startled by the angel's appearance and perplexed by his greeting. Gabriel calmed her before he broke the really crazy news. She would become pregnant and give birth to a son whom she would name Jesus. He would be great, and God would give him the throne of his father David. He would reign over the house of Jacob, and his kingdom would never end. This must have sounded amazing to Mary. Her people had been waiting for the promised Messiah for centuries. She would be his mother. But it didn't make sense. How would it happen? She was a virgin. The angel explained how God would make it happen, and the Holy One to be born will be God's son. Perhaps to remind her the impossible could truly happen. He told her about her much older cousin Elizabeth, who couldn't have children. She was now 6 months pregnant. Nothing, the angel assured Mary, is impossible with God. At that point, Mary saw that it was all true and willingly submitted to what was to be. She told him, I am the Lord's servant, let it be as you have said. What incredible news this must have been to this young woman. In just a few moments, her view of her life was changed forever. She was to be a part of God's plan to bring the Messiah, the one whom the Jews had been waiting for. There's a quote at the bottom that says, I have found that there are 3 stages in every great work of God. First, it is impossible, then it is difficult, and then it is done. By Hudson Taylor. So now we're on to take a closer look. States Gabriel's announcement shows God's consistency in bringing about all his plans. A closer look reveals the strength and certainty of the angel's promise when he told Mary that nothing is impossible with God. Growing up in the Jewish tradition, Mary was familiar with the writings of the Old Testament and the prophecies of the coming Messiah. Her question, how could this be, was not doubt of God's ability or character, but an understandable inquiry into how a virgin could possibly give birth. As part of his reply, the angel informed her of Elizabeth's pregnancy. Mary knew of Jewish ancestors to whom God had miraculously given the gift of a child. Elizabeth too? With that established, the angel told her that nothing is impossible with God. What is not often interpreted from the Greek in the statement is rhema, or R-H-E-M-A, meaning word. Further, pas, P-A-S, the word for nothing, can be translated not one. The angel told Mary that not one word God has said can be void of power. Mary, confident of the history of God's consistency, now applied that assurance to the announcement given to her by the angel. Without doubt, she would be Jesus' mother. Then there's a quote here that states, "Faith sees the invisible, believes the unbelievable, and receives the impossible," by Corrie ten Boom. Corrie, Corrie Boom, Boom. So now we're on to the section called Apply It to Your Life, and that's where we're going to go ahead and read. The Bible is full of God's assurances, but each day can bring challenges to believe that He will follow through and meet you in the possible circumstances. Perhaps you're caring for a loved one who is seriously ill, while other responsibilities and relationships beg for your attention. You long for the escape of a soothing bath or a cappuccino that hasn't grown cold, but there isn't even time for that. God knows all about what you are facing this week, and He cares. Think about it. Think about what you know is true about Him. He is powerful. He is consistent. That applies to His words and His atomic in His actions. What He says He will do powerfully. Let's repeat that. That applies to His words and His actions. What He says He will do powerfully. Now trust His words and put yourself into God's loving arms. Mary did. Say as she did. Quote, "I am your daughter who longs to serve you. I trust your words. Do your work, for I have confidence that it is good." End quote. So now it has like a little question here that I'll go ahead and upload so you guys can see, and I want you to respond to it. So the question is, what is impossible with man is possible with you? Luke 18:27. It's actually a Bible verse, but just actually try to think about what is impossible. What is impossible with God? And your answer should be no or nothing, because nothing is impossible with God. Sorry, I had to take a quick little intermission for a sip of some water, tea, and a little bit of cookie. So now we're going to go ahead and pick back up on how others see it. A prayer that believes in the impossible focuses on the faith in a powerful God. A.W. Tozer, Tozer, in Believing Prayer said, quote, "Whatever God can do, faith can do, and whatever faith can do, prayer can do, when it is offered in faith. An invitation to prayer is therefore an invitation to omnipotence. For prayer engages the omnipotent God and brings Him into our human affairs. Nothing is impossible to the Christian who prays in faith, just as nothing is impossible with God." End quote. C.H. Mackintosh, Mackintosh, felt that the impossible won't faze the one who prays in faith. In Notes of the Pentateuch, or Pentateuch, he said, quote, "Faith says if impossible is the only objection, it can be done. Faith brings God into the scene, and therefore it knows absolutely nothing of difficulties. It laughs at impossibilities. Unbelief says, how can such and such things be? It is full of hows, but faith has one great answer to 10,000 hows, and the answer is God." End quote. Now we're in the zooming in portion, which is usually like the history of during this little history fact. Let's go ahead and read the zooming in. A betrothal, or Betrothal, in marriage time was considered the beginning of the union between the man and the woman. It became legally binding when the man, or his messenger, handed the woman a small amount of money or a letter stating his intention. This was done before witnesses and then couldn't be dissolved except by divorce. Today's use of a bridal veil dates back to ancient times. A Jewish bride wore her hair loose but carefully covered her head and hair with a veil. The veil was a symbol of the woman's modesty and virtue. One very ancient belief was that evil spirits could gain power over a woman whose head was uncovered. So now we're going to go ahead and go into the Through the Eyes of Your Heart, where they have the 3 questions, and I just want you to go ahead and answer them. They're going to pop up on the screen here soon. So I'm going to go ahead and read the quote which I starred. So, let me go ahead and read this quote. God is aware of the weight of your present circumstance. Let him carry it for you. Let him show you his limitless capacity to meet the impossibilities. The impossible. Let me go ahead and reread that so you can understand here. God is aware of the weight of your present circumstance. Let him carry it for you. Let him show you his limitless capacity to meet the impossible. I also underlined it something going back to the how others see it, so let me go ahead and reread that for you so that I can stick to. But faith has one great answer to 10,000 hows, and the answer is God. So basically, when you feel like you just can't do it, you feel like it's no way you can get through a certain situation, or nothing, you're just not gonna get your breakthrough. Just remember this: all those hows and whys and whats and all those worry type questions, I like to say, answer is God. If you just lay some of your burden down and just be like, I need help, you surely will receive it. So let's go ahead and go into the questions. I'm going to go ahead and read them, but they will pop up on the screen. First question is, when you're worn out, it's easy to begin to think God can't help you. What is one way you could take time to rest so you can renew your perspective? I answered, taking every day to set aside time. And I agree about that, like taking out a little bit of your time each day to spend time with God, whether that's through prayer or like what I'm doing now, the Bible study. Even though these are old things for me, I'm still taking the time out to learn and be with God. So it doesn't really have to be a time limit or anything or a specific day, just whatever works for you. Question number 2. God cared about Mary's concerns, questions, and feelings. He cares about yours too. Write a note to God about your impossible situation. What might he tell you in response? So like I said, this book was from a thrift store, so someone actually wrote in here before, and this is what she put, and all I put for my response was agree. So she put, it's not impossible. I want you to be the center of my life. I want to put all my trust in you and not let a guy influence me. And during the time in my life, which I'm not going to discuss here because this is not about me, this is about God, I really agree with her, so I literally just put -agree. So, in question number 3, God is consistent. His words are powerful. What he has said, he will do. Let me repeat that. God is consistent. His words are powerful. What he has said, he will do. These are trust reminders. What reminders will help you place the impossible in the realm of the possible? And she put something, and I really just put -agree as well. So let me go to what she put. Knowing what God has done for me in the past, he's always been faithful. But as my mom says, God helps those who help themselves. And really, I just put -agree. So yeah, that's the end of our day 2 women's Bible study. Just remember that the Bible verse to study into is Luke chapter 1 verses 37 to 38, which I'll post all it on the screen. Go back to the little video here and read up if you can, and also go through those questions and answer them on either mentally or answer them on a piece of paper. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Adios, chicas and chicas.